Lesson 2. Lesson 1 was explained the existence and the qualities of that supreme power, the first manifestation known to us of the great principle, the causeless cause itself, which is called universal life energy. Now further details in that direction will be given. As previously stated, universal life energy is everywhere. Its supply is inexhaustible. Outside of you, it is in a condition as dynamic life energy. Within you, in your life center, it is in a static or condensed condition. Your problem is to make the connection between these two aspects of the same power through certain exercises which will be given to you in this lesson. You are to open your body to the inflow of the universal life energy outside of it. The life force within, from its center in your body, then acts as a magnet and attracts the force from without. Your life center within, stimulated by the current of universal life energy from without, takes in that force, transforms it into the life current of the body, and sends it in this changed condition to the solar plexus, its reservoir or storehouse. From there it is conveyed by the nerves throughout the whole system. As universal life energy is limitless and all-powerful, the more it flows into the body, the stronger the individual becomes. The object of these exercises described hereafter is to establish a permanent contact and thus secure a continual flow of universal life energy into the life center of your body, from where it will be distributed by way of the solar plexus in a constant and increasing radiation of life throughout the whole body. It is obvious that when filled with vitality, all the cells of the body are made to work to their full capacity. All the functions of your different organs are stimulated to the highest degree, and all your qualities, physical, mental and moral, are brought out and developed to the utmost. Under these conditions you will be able to work and grow strong. Every kind of effort, physical or mental, will be easy to you because you will always have at your disposal more force than you can actually use. Work, instead of a duty or a burden to you, will become a genuine pleasure, not only because it affords an outlet for your abundant energy, but because of the ease and efficiency with which you find yourself able to do it. Investigations of the astonishing feats of strength and endurance among animals, birds, and especially insects have brought to light some remarkable discoveries as to the source of their great energy. Nature itself, as a loving mother, has provided her children with the necessary means to contact universal life energy constantly and transmute it through their bodies into the startling activities which baffled scientists for many years. Animals, for instance, use the hair of their bodies as numberless wireless bowls to contact this power of the universe. The birds use their feathers for that purpose. Reptiles and fish their scales, insects their feelers and the little down growing on their bodies, plants the underside of their leaves, etc. If it were not for that continual contact with universal life energy, ants could not carry burdens so many times heavier than themselves with such ease and continuity of effort. Without that power continually flowing into their bodies and sustaining them throughout the many days' migration, birds could not cross the ocean, thousands of miles in one stretch, without food, without resting, without sleeping. Even the many layers of fat which migratory birds acquire through intensive feeding before they start on their long journey would not be sufficient to supply one small part of the energy which they spend on their way. If it were not for the continual inflow of universal life energy into their bodies, through their feathers, during the very process of flying, they could never reach their destination. As we human beings are also members of the great family of nature, We are endowed with the same faculty as the rest of creation to contact universal life energy directly through our body and to use it whenever we need. But because we have grown apart from nature in the slow process of civilization, we have let that faculty sink into disuse until it has become almost completely atrophied. We became so interested in cultivating ourselves that we utterly ignored the more important job of keeping up our contacts with nature's marvelous array of forces. Literally pulled ourselves up by the roots and thought we had grown because we stood higher. Today we have to re-establish consciously that vital connection which we willfully broke. We have a mind which can soar into the highest regions. But how few of the wonderful thoughts conceived there can we really bring to practical fruition? Potentially the strongest and noblest of nature's children, we have become what we actually are now, the weakest and most helpless of all, simply because of the pride and conceit which led us to separate ourselves from universal powers in order that we might be self-sufficient. Our roots are dangling in the air. The only way to restore our lost connection with those powers is to put our roots back in as deliberately as we pulled them out, by uniting ourselves consciously with universal life energy. It was on the mental plane that this union was first broken, through the thought of our mind. So it is on the mental plane also that the first steps must be taken to repair the damage. Therefore we start the process of re-establishing our contact with universal life energy through certain mental exercises, now to be described. Relax as completely as you can, physically, mentally and emotionally. Enter into silence as you were taught in the previous lesson, and when you feel harmony within you as a result of that relaxation and silence, then say to yourself in a low voice the following words: I am one with universal life energy. IT is flowing through me now. I feel IT. Thus you open the mental door which separates the life force within you from life energy without. The life force within, because of its inherent quality of attraction, contacts the force from without, which begins to pour into your life center with an ever-increasing power and is transformed there into life currents and distributed throughout the body. The above-mentioned formula to establish the contact with universal life energy is of three distinct constituent parts, vibrating to the three planes: the soul plane, the mind plane, and the body plane. Considered singly, the three touch their respective notes in the one chord as follows. I am one with universal life energy is an eternal verity. Its audible statement awakens within your soul the realization of the eternal fact of your actual unity on the soul plane with universal life energy. Thus the soul is stimulated to assert that union. IT is flowing through me now represents the opening of the mental gates. You are a law unto yourself on the mental plane. To become conscious of something mentally means to give life to it, to make it real, whereas things of which you are unconscious are as if non-existent for you. To become conscious that life energy is flowing through you right now according to mental laws makes it so. And as your soul has been awakened by the first statement, it will support with all its awakened power your second mental statement. I feel IT are the closing words. This refers directly to your body. It makes you not only know, but actually feel, the fact of the contact. And that which you feel becomes very real to you. In practicing that mental contact as an exercise, you must be very careful how you do it. Whenever you make those statements, remember two cardinal points, namely, first, that when repeating those words, you must try to realize mentally as strongly and clearly as you can their actual meaning. The more you can make it real to yourself, the better it will work. Second, that you must consistently avoid all mere automatic affirmations. You must not try to suggest to yourself the words you are repeating, but you must actually realize them as based on genuine facts. It is this realization of the meaning behind the words that is alone of value, and not the mere unthinking repetition of the words themselves. Both affirmation and suggestion only numb the individual without producing the desired results. Suggestion and affirmation usually mean something superimposed, something painted on, while scientific statements of fundamental truths, thoroughly understood, develop in you that which you already possess. When making the last statement, I feel it, you must not try to imagine or persuade yourself that you feel life energy flowing through you. On the contrary, you must be as analytical as possible, though not skeptical. You must take the attitude of an individual who, for instance, tries to hear faraway sounds or see a distant object. He strains his senses, sharpens them in order to perceive otherwise imperceptible impressions. Similarly, when making the mental contact, you must make your sense of feeling very acute in order to perceive the inflow into your body of life energy. Like everything else, this is a matter of training. The more you will train your body in that direction, the more you will actually feel the life currents entering it. If in the beginning you will not feel the flow of life energy through your body, do not be discouraged. The proof that it has entered will lie in the fact that you will feel stimulated and more energetic in doing any work. At first you will have to practice that contact from 5 to 10 minutes every day. After a month or so you should be able to make it almost instantaneously. The mental contact with universal life energy is one of the easiest ways to contact that power. You should use it continually before starting any work, be it physical, mental, or inspirational. The few moments it will take you to make the contact and the little effort required will amply repay you in helping you to perform your work without ever becoming tired. Not only will you be able thus to eliminate fatigue and weariness, but you will be able to do better and quicker work. The more you will practice the mental contact, the more you will become consciously one with life energy. When you have practiced that mental contact as an exercise for some time, you will find that you can make it instantaneously whenever you need it. Instead of audibly repeating the formula given above for making the contact, all you will need to do is to realize your oneness with universal life energy, and you will become actually and consciously one with it. Because of the association of ideas, the other two parts of the formula for the mental contact will work automatically. Once the mental contact with life energy is properly established, remember that the force which you will be using in your work is no more dependent on your own limited supply of it, as it will flow through you from the limitless and all-powerful store of all energy. Naturally, there can be no end to it. Thus you will soon discover that work will make you grow stronger instead of tearing you as it did before. After you make the mental contact with life energy, its flow will continue until your attention has been transferred from your work. At that moment, especially in the beginning, you will disconnect yourself from life energy, and a new contact will therefore become necessary. The more you practice that contact, the better it will work, and the longer you will remain each time connected with universal life energy. Before starting the slightest and easiest task, always take the trouble to make the contact. Why should you use your own life force, of which you have so little in your body, when there is waiting outside of it a universal power ready and willing to do all the work through you and for you? if you will only let it in. All that is necessary is for you to use the different qualities of your body, mind or soul, as tools, through which is working life energy itself. In spite of the simplicity of the method, not everybody is at first able to use it successfully because of the doubt which some people may entertain in their hearts as to the efficacy of such a mental contact. You must remember that on the mental plane you are a law unto yourself. If you believe in a thing, that thing will become a reality to you. But if you doubt or fear, that doubt or fear also becomes a reality to you and prevents you from realizing the thing you want. In order to overcome that difficulty and enable everybody, even the most skeptical and timid, successfully to make that conscious contact with universal life energy, there is another method which will now be explained. A method of pure physical contact based on the operation of physical laws. That second method has this advantage over the mental one, that it does not require any faith to enable it to function freely. It works for the reason that the physical laws are there put into operation, and the physical contact with its universal energy is made not because you think or want it, but because you cannot help it. Obviously, if you also think about the universal life energy flowing through you at the moment of physical contact with it, it will work all the better. Yet, if you do not think at all about it, still it will work, because it is wholly independent of your mental attitude. This second, or physical method, is based on a certain exercise originated by the author and called by him star exercise. The reason why this posture is called the star exercise is because the individual, when taking it, places his body in such a position that it will fit into the 5 points of a star. It is in this position that the physical channels are most widely open for the reception of the universal force. For this reason, the star exercise is indeed a key to all power, unlocking and bringing forth in man all his latent powers and forces. The actual contact between the life center within the body and the universal life energy outside of it takes place when the body is disposed as shown in the diagram. Standing straight, yet relaxed, with legs spread to a degree corresponding to the design. The arms stretched to either side on a level with the shoulders and with head erect. Your body will fit into the 5-pointed star. Even the proportions of a normally built body will correspond to the figure of the star. The head fits into the upper point, the 2 arms into the 2 side points, the torso into the center, and the legs into the 2 lower points. The palm of the left hand should be turned up and that of the right hand should be turned down. The whole body must remain erect, but not tense. The upturned palm of the left hand receives the universal life energy which is directed from space towards the earth. The inherent power of attraction exercised by the life center within your body acts as a powerful magnet to increase the inflow of the life energy coming from space. Through the nerves of the hand, calms, and the spinal cord, life energy flows to your life center, located at the base of your spine. There, as stated in the previous lesson, it is transformed into the life current of your body and is sent thus transformed into your solar plexus. After the solar plexus has been completely filled with it, the surplus flows out through the downturned palm of the right hand and into the earth, in response to the earth's magnetic attraction. The solar plexus itself acts as a distributing center from which the life force is continually sent out to the various parts of the body according to their needs, whence it is finally radiated in the form of a radioactivity called the aura, or human atmosphere. Thus is established a current of universal energy flowing from the infinite source into the human body, invigorating, purifying and developing it, and flowing out of it only to return with an ever-increasing power. Not only through the left hand does the life energy penetrate into your body, it pours in also through every cell and nerve of your body. All those secondary currents converge towards your life center, which absorbs it and, after transforming it into life force, sends it out again throughout your body. Yet during the exercise, the main current is received as stated above. Shortly after you have taken the position, you may begin to feel a certain heaviness in the palm of the left hand, somewhat as if a heavy ball were pressing on the palm. You will probably also sense a kind of tingling in the fingertips of the right hand. These two different sensations are due to the influx and outpouring of the life energy. Thus you will feel that the contact is established. There are several other important points to be remembered in connection with this exercise. The best time to perform it is in the morning immediately after getting up, before doing anything else, and at night before going to bed. 3 to 5 minutes is all that is needed to perform the star exercise. For the first month, it would be inadvisable to do it longer because of the very strong impure energy. But later on, when your body becomes accustomed to that inflow of life currents, the duration of the star exercise can be prolonged to 15 minutes and the exercise taken more than twice a day. During that exercise in the morning and at night, you ought to be dressed as lightly as possible, in order to leave your body free and without pressure on any part of it. The exercise should be performed in front of an open window, and if the temperature and circumstances permit, out of doors. The star exercise should never be taken immediately after a meal. At least an hour must elapse between the two. Otherwise, a nausea and sometimes even indigestion may result, as too much life energy can upset digestion and produce the above-mentioned effects. Deep, rhythmic breathing is very helpful during the exercise because of the stimulating effects of the oxygen. In the beginning, your arms may feel tired during the performance of the exercise. No effort should be used to keep your arms up in their proper position. Let them drop and lift them again when rested. Otherwise, the tension of the muscles and nerves resulting from a prolonged forced elevation of the arms will counteract to a great extent the flow of the force through them. If you are very sensitive, you will notice a certain swaying of your body forward and backward in performing the exercise. If that swaying becomes too strong, stop doing the exercise in a standing position and take it lying on your back, on a couch or on a bed. For many people, it is preferable to take the exercise in a lying position, as the swaying may be so pronounced as to cause them to fall when it is taken standing. Yet, if you can perform it in a standing position, by all means do it that way. Those who are heavily built or stout will notice in the beginning that when they perform the star exercise, they perspire excessively. They should be not at all alarmed by that. Though rather unpleasant, it is an excellent sign, for through perspiration are eliminated from the body undesirable elements. The points of the compass are of no importance to those who use life energy, which is universal. There is no necessity for observing them in any way, as the force will flow equally well no matter in what direction the face is turned. This exercise works so automatically that there is no imperative need to think about the force flowing through your body. It will flow anyway, because of the attraction exercised by your life center within. Yet, as before stated, if during the exercise you mentally contact, it will work so much better, as mind and body will then cooperate to the same end. The star exercise is exceedingly beneficial to children. It stimulates the entire body, especially the brain centers and those glands which play such an important role in the child's growth and development. The star exercise ought to become a part of your daily routine. It is to be carried on regularly throughout all your life. And if this is done, the positive results obtained will exceed your most sanguine expectations. It is life, in its strongest exercise and use for the greatest unfoldment of your body, mind and soul. For some time in the beginning, that process of unfoldment may be rather slow, but by persevering you will win the reward of complete success. The universal life energy contacted through the star exercise as life force will not only stimulate and invigorate you, but as it is at the same time the intelligence and the law which governs all being, and the love which keeps it in a condition of perpetual harmony. It will also re-establish within you that perfect equilibrium, the basis of real power. The star exercise will produce automatically the same growth and harmonization within you which the application of universal law by your mind will produce consciously. Working together, they will achieve the quickest and best results because of their mutual reaction one upon another. There are various modifications of the star exercise by which universal energy can be contacted physically and yet not so obviously. Whenever you want to receive the universal force without making the mental contact or the star exercise, all you need to do is to turn the palms of one or both of your hands upwards. In that position, the current of universal energy will flow through your hands into your body, with the sole difference that instead of flowing out through the right hand, as both hands have their palms turned upwards, it will flow out through your feet into the ground. This second physical contact can be made while sitting, standing, or even walking. As you do not need to extend your arms, the turning upward of the palms of your hands being sufficient, you can make that contact easily in the presence of people without being conspicuous. When seated, you can have your hands resting palms upward on your knees or on the side of your armchair. When standing, you can cup your hands at your sides or clasp them loosely behind your hack in such fashion that the palms will be turned up for the reception of the force. The student can contrive a variety of other ways to make that contact, according to the occasion. Questions and answers to Lesson 2. 1. What are the methods of contacting universal life energy? The methods of contacting universal life energy are the mental and the physical. 2. What is the role of the life center in connection with universal life energy? The role of the life center is to receive universal life energy and transform it into life currents which it sends by way of the solar plexus throughout the whole system. 3. What is the role of the solar plexus? The solar plexus acts as a distributing agent for the life currents sent to it from the life center. The strength of the individual is in direct proportion to the development of the solar plexus. 4. What are the advantages of the mental contact? The advantages of the mental contact are its quickness and its simplicity. 5. In what way is the mental contact limited? The mental contact is limited in that until properly understood it must be taken on faith. 6. What are the advantages of the physical contact through the star exercise? The advantage of the physical contact is that universal life energy is contacted through the use of physical laws which work irrespective of one's mental attitude. 7. Are there any other means of physically contacting universal life energy? Universal life energy may be physically contacted by any modification of the star exercise through which the palms are turned upward for the reception of the force. 8. What is the best mental attitude to take during the mental contact and the star exercise? The right mental attitude to take during the star exercise is one of confidence and receptiveness. 9. How can one grow stronger in body, mind, and soul by working? One can work and grow stronger by contacting and using universal life energy in all daily activities. 10. Do animals contact and use universal life energy for their daily needs? Animals do contact and use universal life energy for their daily needs, just as everything in nature does. 11. What is the quickest way to develop man's latent powers? The quickest way to develop man's latent powers is by the continual use of universal life energy. 12. Why does universal life energy establish equilibrium within? Universal life energy establishes equilibrium within because of its natural harmonizing properties as the basic force of the universe.